Welcome back to another episode of Arizona Wildcats Insiders Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Hutchison, and we are officially 13 days away from the college football season as Arizona gets geared up for its 2025 season opener against Hawaii in Tucson on TNT. Now, Arizona's in the middle of training camp, getting everything set, the depth chart, guys on the roster figuring things out, figuring what they have on their roster right now. But it's been a crazy offseason for Brent Brennan, who's entering year two with Arizona, as last year did not go exactly as planned, as Arizona went 4-8 during the regular season. Even after starting out number 21 in the AP poll, the Wildcats lost 7 of their last 8 games, missing the bowl game, having an underwhelming season, and needing to change things up on the coaching staff. The offense was very vanilla, and after the 61-point performance against New Mexico, averaged under 19 points per game the rest of the season, one of the lower offenses in the Big 12. Defense was banged up, but kind of got out of hand in terms of scores, with Central Florida blowing out the Wildcats, ASU blowing out the Wildcats, BYU, Kansas State, the list goes on and on. So changes were made. Brett Brennan decided to bring in Seth Doege to replace Dino Babers. Seth Doege coming over from Marshall after one season with the Thundering Herd, a young and up-and-coming offensive coordinator. And then defensively, Danny Gonzalez was promoted from linebacker coach to defensive coordinator, replacing Dwayne Aquina, who decided to go to Texas after the defensive replacement there. Now, not only is there new faces on the coaching staff like Joe Salavea, the former Wildcat, now Arizona defensive line coach, there's also new faces in the roster. Arizona has 61 new players to its roster, via transfer portal, the 2025 recruiting class. It's a lot of turnover on the roster. That's a little bit over half of your roster getting turned over. Still, a lot of familiar faces with Noah Fafita back at the helm as quarterback for Arizona. Some defensive players like Trayden Stukes, Genesis Smith, Dalton Johnson will be back, Tay Brown, and Trey Smith as well. Now, Arizona's in the midst of its training camp. We've seen a lot. We're on the second half of that training camp as they're getting closer to game prep week for Hawaii. So, we've seen a lot with the offense, with Doege and his scheme, what it's going to look like, more of an up-tempo offense and less vanilla and less just sitting waiting for something to happen. It's going to be more up-tempo. You're going to see them going fast and getting a lot of plays. And defensively, you're going to see a lot of chaos being created. Last year, Arizona sat back and played what was in front of them, mostly in that 4-2-5 defense and that nickel look. This year, with Danny Gonzalez, it's going to be switched up a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of blitzes dialed up, a lot of schemes dialed up, a lot of different wrinkles within the system, different defenses thrown out against some opponents if needed. I think you're going to see a lot of different things from Coach Gonzalez there. I think that's all exciting stuff. But I want to talk about the running back room. Last season, Arizona started behind the 8 ball with Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt running out of eligibility, even though he was told he had eligibility, and the NCAA ruling that he had no more eligibility after the first game, where they blew out New Mexico. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt had a tremendous game in that game. So after that, it was led to Quali Conley, Kedrick Risano, and others trying to pick up the slack. And you know what? You're missing your star back. And Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, where is he right now? He's with the Washington Commanders, and it looks like he might be the week 1 starter for Washington. So that goes to show you what kind of running back they lost. And then couple that with a offense where they went away from the run. They were hesitant to run. Even when they had success, they went away from the run. There was just no willingness to run the football, no want to run the football, and it caused issues. When you abandon the run so easily in games, you tend to get blown out because you get worn down. The run game is supposed to help your offense. It's supposed to help your quarterback, who got sacked 28 times, and it's supposed to wear down the defense. Arizona had none of that, and that's why part of the issues Arizona had last season. So Alonzo Carter went out, has a new offense coordinator in Seth Doege, and decided to revamp the running back room. There's some space open, so they bring in guys like Wilcie Yarborough from the recruiting class, Cornelius Warren from the recruiting class. You have Quincy Craig, transfer portal. And one of the top transfer, Ishmael Mahdi from Texas State. There's a lot of talent in this running back room right now, more so than last season. Again, if Ja'Cory Cross-Kamara played, there's not a running back like that. You're talking about a guy that, even without a season, ended up seventh in the NFL draft. What seventh round pick would have probably been a third round pick. That's how talented he was. So there isn't that. But I want to talk about the top three backs that we've seen during training camp. Number one, Kedra Risano. The guy's a bulldozer. He has that Warwick Dunn type game to him. He's a little bit bigger than Warwick Dunn. Maybe an Ahmad Bradshaw type of game. Sneaky quick. Just a bulldozer, can hit you right in the face. A little bit of Jacobs from the Giants as well. That combo right there kind of reminds me of him. Good balance to him. Good blocker, best blocker on the team, and has soft hands as well. And we've seen him take a leadership role during this training camp session, and he's grown. He's quicker, he's faster, he's stronger. He's hitting the hole with more aggressiveness, and I think it meets the needs of this offensive scheme. So let's go over to the transfer, who's the number 2 back during training camp right now, and that's Ishmael Mahdi. He is all speed, all agility. You know, it's something that Arizona wasn't able to use last year with Rayshawn Luke, who was very much speed, but had issues staying healthy. Ishmael was doing it at Texas State, just tearing up opponents, even Power 4 conference opponents as well, like ASU. He had a great game against the Sun Devils. He could do multiple things. To me, he's like a Darren Sproles type. I'm not saying he's Darren Sproles, but you can put him in different areas of the field. You can slot him out at receiver, quick pass, have him come around on a reverse or something like that. Screen passes, tossing it out in space. He can do multiple things for an offense, and he can play in the return game as well. He's very agile. He's got that quick get up. If he sees a hole, he's going to just dart right through it. And before you know, that's a 40-yard touchdown run, an elite speed guy. It took a while to settle in. Spring was not good for him, but training camp has got him better. I think he's getting used to being in a new city, being around new teammates, and just the level of competition has gone up from Texas State. So it has been an adjustment for him, but he is very talented, and I'm excited to see how Seth Doege, because if there's an offense coordinator that can use that elite type of speed, it's Seth Doege. I'm excited to see how he uses him, what wrinkles they do to get him the ball, try to get him the ball in open space. Something that Arizona failed to do with Rayshawn Luke in previous seasons is get the ball into a playmaker's hand in space. I want to see how they do that. I trust Doege to do that. I think he's a very intelligent offensive mind. I think he's going to be a very good offense coordinator, probably a very good head coach one day. And it's exciting to see. It's exciting to think about what he could do. And him and Reason will be that thunder and lightning combination for the Wildcats. And then lastly, I want to talk about a freshman. Wesley Yarborough is a man amongst men. I mean, he is built like a brick house. He's all the 215. When you hit him, when he hits you, you don't hit him. He hits you, and you feel it. He is built like a warrior. He's everything that they want out of a Texas back. Has sneaky quick fastness where he hits the hole, hits it hard. The agility isn't like Ishmael Mahdi, but he can make a guy miss. But he's more of that power back, more of that stiff arm in the face and plant you in the ground type of running back. Has decent hands, good hands, and he's developing as a blocker. I think he's very talented. I don't know how, even though he was a 4-star and a high 3-star recruit in some services, how he didn't have so many offers. You know, coming from the Houston area as well. So this is 2 Houston backs for the Wildcats and Risano and now Yarborough. I don't know how he didn't have more offers from like a Texas Tech, a Baylor. I think TCU was somewhat interested in him. Some bigger offers, but Arizona jumped on it. When they found him, they jumped on it and held him tight. And I don't blame him, because I could see him becoming the number 2B back along with Monty in terms of getting maybe the same amount of carries. He's going to have a very good year for a freshman. Now, does that look like 1,000 yards? No. I think there's too much talent in this running back room for him to have 1,000 yards. It wouldn't shock me if Ricino had 1,000 yards and Madi had 500-700 and then maybe 200-300 receiving. But they're going to get in the ball. I think a successful season for Yarborough is that 300 to 400 yard mark, but you see 5-6 touchdowns and maybe 120 yards receiving, 200 yards receiving. It's going to be a build-up year for him, but man, is he talented. He is a very talented back. Jonah Coleman, as a freshman, was one of the more talented backs I've seen in Arizona for a freshman since Nick Wilson. I think he could be of that ilk. So we'll have more updates from training camp, more position breakdowns, and we'll get you geared up for the 2025 college football season. Be sure to follow our website, Arizona Wildcats on SI, or follow us on Twitter, Arizona Wildcats on SI, or follow me, Troy Hutchison, at THutch1995 for more updates of Arizona athletics.